Pickup trucks have become lifestyle vehicles lately, but for people who don't really want to spend a little bit too much on their pickup trucks and simply need a workhorse vehicle that they can rely on and transport themselves and their goods from point A to point B, then they can try out the Maxus pickup truck. This one right here is the Maxus T60 4x4, the car that'll do exactly that for you, be a workhorse vehicle. Today I'm going to show you around this car and I'm also going to give it a test drive, so stay tuned. Despite the Maxus T60 being a workhorse-oriented vehicle, Maxus didn't really shortchange you when it comes to styling. Ridges on the hood, an incredibly massive grille with an equally massive Maxus badge on it, LED headlights with DRLs, and also a fog light down below. If you also take a look at the center part, there are even some honeycomb patterns over there to give you a little bit more style. On the side, for your styling, you do get a couple of flares on your fenders, you get 17-inch rims wrapped in all-terrain tires, and you get some lines on your doors, and this especially pronounced character line down below. Chrome door handles with keyless entry, smart keyless entry, you get repeaters on your wing mirrors, a roof rail up top, and also a step board. Aside from that, it is as straightforward as most pickup trucks can go. But since this is the top-of-the-line 4x4 version, Maxus also threw in a 4x4 sticker towards the back. Although one thing I'm not too fond of is the addition of this T60 badge over here, because yes, it is in chrome, but it doesn't exactly look like the most high quality chrome, and you do know immediately, even from afar, that it is made out of plastic. At the rear, you get a couple of lines on this one, a reverse camera, the huge Maxus logo. You also get rear fog lights as well, but they are built into your tail lights. It's kind of odd how there are these surrounding your reflectors, and usually you're gonna expect something like exhaust tips over there, but they really do simply surround your reflectors. Open up your tailgate and it is not assisted, so it's a little bit heavy. And over here you do get a factory bed liner and a cargo space of 1,020 liters. Powering this workhorse pickup truck is a 2.8 liter inline-4 diesel engine making 150 horsepower and 360 newton meters of torque, mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now inside the Maxus T60, you check the door thud first. It sounds not bad actually. The materials in here are clad in a lot of hard touch plastic, and if you take a listen to this center armrest, yeah, that creaks. Open up the sun visor and the cover for the mirror, that doesn't stay up. That's not the point of the car though. This is a workhorse oriented vehicle, so that's what you expect. You don't really want a lot more from it. Anyway, the rest of the interior is fine. You get a multi-function steering wheel, tiltable but not telescopic, and really easy to read instrument cluster with a tiny screen in the middle. 2 cup holders on either side. You get 2 more here at the center and a jug holder at the side. You also get power adjustments for your side mirror, power seats for the driver's side, and manual for the passenger, but you do get leather all around you. But the main star of this interior is this 10-inch touchscreen towards the middle. It also comes with Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink, and it is so responsive and clear. I love it. It also comes with your reverse camera over there. Down below that, you get your climate control single zone, and as for other safety features in this car, you get 2 airbags only for the front, and hill descent control and traction control. Your shifter on this one is rather basic, but you do get manual mode on this, and also your transfer case selector that is electronic. And here at the back of the T60, we also check the door thud. It sounds really good. Now here you get so much legroom, so much headroom because of the cab design, and the seats are reclined in such a way that it's rather comfortable. You don't really get much toys back here, but you do get your own air vents, a 12-volt outlet, and also a jug holder at the side. If you want to seat 3 people in this car, you can also easily do it because the floor is kind of flat and the car is rather wide. You can also lift up the bench part of this seat to reveal 2 more underfloor storage. So now we drive the Maxus T60 4x4, and as you get into this car, you immediately know that it feels exactly like a typical pickup truck. What that means is that it's not particularly refined, it's not particularly comfortable, it still is rather jiggly, but that's not the point of this automobile right here. The Maxus T60 is supposed to be that budget-friendly alternative to your usual pickup trucks, despite the Maxus T60 being very jiggly here inside the city. When you do take it up over to the highway, it does compensate for it in terms of quietness, because wind noise is kept to a dead minimum. However, However, there is still that considerable amount of engine noise that you do hear permeating into the cabin. However, tire noise is also pretty good. It's well subdued because they are running on your typical road tires, not really one of those super off-road oriented tires. I mean, the engine has 150 horsepower and 360 newton meters of torque. It's definitely not going to win any races, but there is power over there. What is kind of odd though is that despite this car having 360 newton meters of torque, you don't really feel that much of a pull even low down in the RPM range. Nonetheless, when it does climb up the RPM range, you do feel that this car has more than adequate power. The transmission in this car, upshifting is perfectly fine. It's rather smooth. The only thing that I found kind of odd with it is that when you are downshifting, let's say from second to first gear or third to second gear at slower speeds, around 20 to 30 kilometers per hour, there seems to be a little bit of a jolt. Another thing though is that despite this car being a 4x4 model, it doesn't suffer from the usual problems of a 4x4 pickup truck. That being a ridiculously high turning radius and a really heavy steering system. The hydraulically assisted power steering in this one is just light enough and easy to maneuver despite not really giving you that much feedback. One thing that most cars don't have, but this car gets a little bit too much of it actually, is lumbar support. So while your lumbar support is not adjustable, you get a ton of lumbar support in this car. Given that the Maxus T60 is a workhorse pickup truck, you want something that is very fuel efficient, and efficiency it delivers. In the city, you can do 11.8 kilometers per liter, and this is with EDSA, not super rush hour EDSA, with typical heavy traffic EDSA. But when you do go up over to the highway, I was expecting it to be a little bit better, but it only turns around 13.5 kilometers per liter. Nonetheless, here in the Philippines, you will most often use these cars in heavy city traffic, and at least in that regard, this is very fuel efficient inside the city. This car retails for 1.328 million pesos. Okay, maybe it's not the cheapest when it comes to 4x2 pickup trucks, but I mean, for a 4x4, and for this much practicality, it really is incredibly hard to beat. So if you're looking for a pickup truck that's supposed to be a workhorse vehicle, not something of a lifestyle vehicle wherein you don't really need all the bells and whistles, then the Maxus T60 4x4 makes for a great argument in this segment.